Age Friendly is a global movement started by the World Health Organization, and it really has spread all around the world. There are communities being recognized in all places. Saskatchewan Seniors Mechanism is taking the lead here in Saskatchewan in the work toward developing age-friendly communities. It is very exciting for us. It's about creating communities where all kinds of people are included and involved, that they're able to participate. Age Friendly actually started from the perspective of older adults, but it really is about including all people actively in the community.
It was fun to look at the town through the eyes of other people. When we got together, a whole bunch of us, and we were trying to improve the life here in Pontex, the first thing that came up to the surface was, how do we treat our young families, the one with the children that have to go out for walks, they have to go get their shots, they need to be able to find good food here in Pontex. There's no way that one person can do alone. We have to do it as a community. It's nice for you guys to come out and film us and take us our pictures and talk about what we do. But if it wasn't for all the gang behind us, but I can't ask other people to do it if I don't do it first, because I have to find out what challenges they have and then solve the challenges, and then we all sit at the same table. So the health board came, the town office came, the RMs came, the community representatives, the nurse practitioner, the nurses, the doctors came, and that's what you need. Otherwise, the project doesn't get off the ground. Saskatchewan Seniors Mechanism put all the English verbiage together, and we decided that it would be nice if we could share it with all the francophones in Saskatchewan. So we decided that Collectivité Amis des Aînés would be perfect.
Strasbourg Age Friendly Committee includes an effective mix of Strasbourg administrator, member of council, representative from the provincial park, and volunteers from various organizations.
Okay, for those of you who weren't at our last meeting, we sent out our assessment surveys and the water bills, and we received 62 responses back, which is pretty good for a town our size of 800. And the first two priorities were the lack of benches in the town and the lack of public washrooms. So, Jennifer, do you want to discuss the benches?
Yep, we have 6 benches that the town public works are making. Last meeting we discussed that we were going to be putting them at the museum, at the manor, the town office, the hall, the clinic, and the United Church. And the guys just have to go out and install them. And hopefully that will be done in the next week or two.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, the need to have public washrooms was also mentioned in the surveys. And I gather this has been discussed at town council.
We have talked about the lack of washrooms on Main Street. When the town office is open, we have the washrooms available here, and then also the washroom at the museum when the museum is open. But there's a major issue on weekends when there's a limited amount of businesses open, and functions on Main Street where people can use a washroom.
We do have a community garden that we've organized everybody together. The idea was very special to us, close to our heart, to be able to help out our community. And we thought food would be a great help because some of the people are French, and we know when you feed people, they show up more often to your events. So it was easier for me to sell the age-friendly community that way. The first year, it was funny to see people coming out with their canes trying to push the weeds out of their garden. And I said, no, that won't work. So we have people of all ages that come and do their work in the garden when they can and when their health allows them to do.
It was the Saskatchewan Seniors Mechanism and the city partnered to host an age-friendly gathering. There was a lot of excitement about the idea of a lifelong learning program. How could we make that happen? And we saw all kinds of opportunity for intergenerational learning and for just providing opportunities for people to always feel engaged and connected. And our hope was we would have the lifelong learning stream for other people in the community, including older adults, and that we would host events in a variety of locations throughout the city. So we had events, we tried to promote them and attract individuals to come and be part of the program, but it just didn't roll out the way that we had hoped.
So the idea of engaging older adults, again, was the issue at that time.
It told us we needed to pause and think about, is this really the right direction? Is this what people want? And I think too, our committee is not primarily made up of older adults, of general community members. Primarily our committee has been made up of agency people that are serving seniors, but not necessarily our seniors. We need to make sure that we're engaging the right people. We're not just providing something for seniors. We want to include seniors in the planning. I mean, that's what Age Friendly is about.
Well, Age Friendly to me means having your community viable and accessible from babies right to seniors. At our library program, we have a more senior person that provides reading time for young children. And we have a Mothers and Tots group also. And our library board is all made up of senior citizens. So, you know, we're focused not only on our age group, but on all ages. That's why we have our primary health care center here with nurse practitioners, doctor.
I think Regina Beach and Buena Vista have more accessibility for wheelchairs than just about any other community that I've ever lived in, and the cities as well. And so the committee is working well, and we're going to keep working well.
We're really excited to be working with the Pasqua First Nation because Age Friendly is something that hasn't been introduced into many First Nations communities across the country.
Some of the main priorities are a facility, have a place to gather for tea and bannock, a place to play cards, a place to just visit. Another one was transportation, dealing with transportation because it's difficult for the seniors to attend any events or be part of ceremonies because of transportation. So there is now a bus available for them.
Just getting together to visit, and having their own little space and to do that, and they've identified a whole lot of other things that they would like to do, and maybe eventually we can have our fiddle dance and with a lot of seniors there's no social, no recreational kinds of things happening, and our people used to be a visiting people, but that doesn't even happen anymore. So there are a lot of lonely people, and we appreciate doing something or someone coming around and just try to get them involved at that level.
They have established a committee now of leaders from the reserve who are going to be taking this forward. And I felt when I left there, they are ready to go. One of the best things that happened is we started our meetings with certain strategy which would allow everyone to have input into the project and to be able to comment and ask questions. And that had its strength with drawing so many people together, and all voices were heard.
If you design and develop a city or a community to address the needs of seniors, it's good for all. And again, I talk about the curb ramps as it relates to people with disabilities, or if you have a walker or just not able to go up and down, but parents with strollers and kids on little, tricycles. And again, the better you design a community for all, then it benefits, right? And it benefits not only the seniors, but it benefits all ages. Community development in its pure sense is helping the community help themselves, because no one knows better about the community than the community itself. There's lots we've done as a municipal government, but so much more that we still need to do and continue to do. We have a growing and changing city, and we have a growing cohort of seniors. So it's imperative that all aspects of the city business continues to make sure we are truly age-friendly in all things that we do.
We take a look at two major elements in planning. One of them is long-range planning and one is current planning. Current planning usually involves subdivisions, development permits. Those are the kinds of things that most people think of in age-friendly as ramps, barrier-free access, guardrails, handrails, those kinds of things. We also have the building code there, so any changes to buildings that involve adaptability or seniors usually occur in the building code. And then we get involved in planning and public works issues as well as access to the building, streets, how they're designed, how people move around the city. I think one of the priorities that's really important is mobility. That one is usually one of the thrusts of urban planning, because that is the first thing in the budget. We call it safe routes to schools. Now, most people are like cats. They go their own direction anyway. Safe route to school works for seniors too. So it's not just seniors we're talking about, it's cross-generational. If you build it for schools and for shopping, it'll work for everybody.
Businesses and community organizations soon find that age-friendly initiatives are attractive and beneficial, not only for themselves, but for all people who live in their community.
Well, one of the reasons we came here was specifically with seniors. We had a store in another community, and they would come down shopping there and request that we would build a store in their communities. We came up with the design of a store that we thought could meet their needs, all inclusive with all the departments and fuel, and self-serve was not an option. We went with full service. We're seen as part of the community, and that's what our goal always has been, is to provide employment in the community and to serve the community with their food. If they can come to one place and get everything that they need, then they stay in their own community.
The Saskatoon Council on Aging already had a drop-in program, but it was centrally located within our office. And so what we did then was work with the city through their community association group to find a way that we could move the drop-in program out into neighborhoods. We can support neighborhoods like Mayfair to establish their own hub club, and that will address that social engagement component.
No, I'm all for this sort of thing. I like it because, well, I do a lot of presentations, caregiver presentations, and this is exactly the sort of group that I would like to talk to.
Communities benefit from having the experience and involvement of a wide range of people in the life of their community. They're healthier, stronger, happier places with a better quality of life for everyone in the community. The communities that actually work toward achieving the milestones and are recognized are able to say publicly that they have reached that milestone and have achieved that kind of recognition. And that does something for community morale as well. The Government of Saskatchewan appreciates the efforts and initiatives of the Saskatchewan Seniors Mechanism and its partners that allow seniors to lead healthy, active lifestyles and stay involved in their communities, including work that leads to communities becoming age-friendly.